Hello everybody, this is Jason Chapa. This is our weekly Google Hangout for the Speech 1315 Argumentation and Debate course. It doesn't look like there's too many of us here to start, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and do a thorough explanation, hopefully, of the second major team debate. Now what that's going to entail is kind of like the mini debate we had. It's going to be a round by round affirmative versus a negative presentation where people give points, counterpoints, and then argue with each other to debate. And the only differences is that there's going to be more rounds and it's going to be a lot more time per round. And there's going to be a more formalized structure to it, and you will have to turn in an outline that kind of covers your main arguments. Now, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and share is a little structure page for the time. So let me go ahead and do my screen share real quick. Now, here it is. This is the Section 2 Structures handout. There's another one that gives a lot more description, doesn't really follow the times as much, but we'll work that out. Now, the way the debate goes is you and your partner will pick a topic where you or your partners, because this can be there should be teams, but the teams can have up to 3 people per then. So it's going to be 2 teams arguing for an affirmative and a negative on a topic. Y'all can pick pretty much any topic y'all want to argue. If y'all want to expand upon the mini debate and use the same topic y'all did before, that's fine. It's just that you're going to have to find even more research and whatnot to back things up. Now what you'll be doing is, the way it's structured is, the first affirmative, which is the one who is for something, is going to have up to 8 minutes to make an opening statement. And then afterwards, the negative team member will have 3 minutes to question them, and the person will have to answer the question. And then after that, the negative gives their 8-minute opening statement, which should cover some of their main points as well as provide some evidence. And then the affirmative has 3 minutes to counter it. And then you're going to do that for another round, 8 minutes, and then 3 minutes, 8-minute statement, and then 3-minute cross-examination. You don't have to use all 8 minutes or all 3 minutes, but you should have a fair amount of information you're sharing, because if you don't, in addition to affecting your grade, it's not going to necessarily be make your argument the best, because you want to make prodigious use of your time. And I'll share something that you can start setting up and how you can set it up for the other one. Now, after you've done those 2 8-minute first affirmative cross-examination, then first negative and cross-examination, and so on, you're going to have a first negative rebuttal, which means you'll give kind of like a closing statement, but just kind of attacking or criticizing the other side, in this case the affirmative. And then the first affirmative rebuttal will have 5 minutes, and then you do a second negative rebuttal, and then a second affirmative rebuttal, meaning you're going to have 2 mini rounds of just kind of arguing what they say. Now, for the first sections where you have the 8 and 3 minutes, this is where you should have your notes pretty thoroughly sketched out for your argument. I'll show you the outline that I want y'all to make for it. For the rebuttals, this is where you're going to want to take notes during those cross-examinations and those speeches, because that's when you're going to start throwing out your arguments against them, your specific criticism. And this is where these 5-minute things is where I think the speeches will be won, because all the cards will be out on the table, and it'll be up to you to kind of start arguing, basically disproving what they're saying. So that's just a brief summary of the time limits. Go ahead and stop sharing. Let's see if there's any questions. And Cecilia just asked, so then it can be a group of 2, but someone will be affirmative and the other negative. Yes, if it's a group of 2, y'all are still going to be responsible for the time for those different sections. But yeah, you'll just have you'll just have one person be all the affirmative and one person be all the negatives. If y'all want, you can get in up to groups of 2 or maybe 3. We'll say 3, and one group member would do the first affirmative, another group member would do the second affirmative, and then a third group member could do the rebuttals, and that would probably split things up pretty equally. But yeah, let me go ahead and type that out. But yeah, that's what you're going to be doing for your argument. Now let me show y'all just another thorough thing that kind of explains the different sections at length. This is the file that's kind of under that. It's called the Structure and Time Limits for Debate. I believe that I typed this out where I found it, and it kind of explains everything that you're going to want to be doing explicitly. And it says the 6 minutes and 3 minutes, but that's fine. Don't worry about that. It should be. You could use this structure, this time limit structure, as well as this organization of things, and it gives it is a lot more thorough in explaining what you want to do, and it has the order down here that you'll be going, 1A and then 1N and then 2A and then 2N, and then you wrap things up. But this is just to help y'all kind of get a better feel, or if you need more explicit instruction of that format, that's what that's there for. Now what you'll need to turn in is a outline for your presentation, and let me go ahead and show you how you're going to be doing that. Now this is basically your standard classical model for an argument, either essay or speech. What you'll be doing is, I want you to focus more so on the body, because this is what's going to be the brunt of things. For everybody making, basically if you had one person doing the affirmative and one person doing the negative, you can turn in one that covers both those mini speeches, both those 8-minute speeches that you'll be giving, as well as for the closing, your conclusion, and the rebuttal statement. So the way it'll work is your introduction, you don't have to spend too much time on that. That should be pretty brief, but where you'll be focusing on for those 8-minute sections is the body. You can do your reasons for evidence and your claims. That's what the evidence backs them up. You can use all that. This body is going to represent maybe one 8-minute section, and you can use as many claims in one 8-minute speech as you want, but it has here 3. So yeah, what you'll be doing is you'll turn in an outline that primarily focuses on the body of the argument for each 8-minute section that covers your claims as well as the evidence you're using. So that's what you're going to need to turn in. It doesn't have to be as thorough as this. It could just be summaries of what you'll be saying, but I'm going to need to see 2 of these body of your arguments. If it's one person, you're going to have to do 2 affirmative bodies or 2 negative bodies, depending on your side. If it's 2 people in a group, then y'all will have to do one person will each do 1 argument. And then you notice how you have that rebuttal, the negative rebuttal. That's where you're addressing the opposite side is from. So you'll be basically you'll be addressing that opposite side there. Let me just make sure that I'm broken. Yeah. So that's what you're going to be doing. This outline, you're going to have to turn it in. It should contain summaries of what you're going to be saying for those 8-minute sections, as well as those 5-minute rebuttal sections and closing statements, if you'd like. This is what you'll turn in. It will need to have an APA format works cited at the end of it, but hopefully this will help you research and put together what you need to do and have some notes. Yeah, you can have notes when you're presenting. It's fine. You can also take notes so that you can alter your questions. And when you're addressing the opposite side, be sure to alter things that you want to see. So I'll stop sharing. Check questions. So that's what the assignment is. You're going to be debating with someone or some ones against for an affirmative and for a negative argument. You'll go 8 minutes for affirmative, 3 minutes to cross-examining question. Then the negative gets 8 minutes, and then cross-examining question, and then you do it again. Second affirmative for 8 minutes, 3 minutes of cross-examination, and then 8 minutes of negative, and then 3 minutes of cross-examination. You don't have to use that entire 8 minutes. I'd say, you know, anywhere between 5 and 8 is fine, or 4 and 8. But if you are just real brief, then that's gonna, it's not gonna. If you want to get an A for it, you'll want to be between 5 and 8 minutes per each of those cross-examination periods. What y'all can do is, if you want, is you can submit multiple files or YouTube things if you'd like, and that'd be fine. You can also do the argument. I'll set up some time next week to where y'all can come in on Google Hangout and y'all can argue or debate each other. You can record yourselves just doing it audio. You can have video if you'd like. But the thing is, you have to submit a file that has you doing the debate, following the structure, as well as an outline that covers your points. And that's what your grade's going to be consisting of. And I won't be picking a winner or loser in terms of grade. I will give my opinion as to who defended the argument the best when I'm explaining the grade. But yeah, I'm not trying to hurt y'all's feelings or anything. I'm just trying to give y'all constructive feedback in your debate skills. So that's what you'll be doing. That's what this major debate is. Like I said, you can use the same topic that you used last time, but I'm gonna make a little asterisk on this. If you use the same topic, I want you all to switch sides. Let's see, a few questions. Yes, just to reiterate, if you want to use the same topic for this presentation that you did for your mini debate, perfectly fine. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to switch sides. I know last time we had the, the gun control debate. We had the two students doing that. I forget who specifically did which ones right off the top of my head, so I apologize for that. But yeah, each of them would take, would basically do the other side there. I believe it was Miguel and Mario. Yeah. So yeah, if Miguel did the affirmative for pro gun control, then he would be against it next speech. And if Mario did if he was against it last time, then he'd be for it. And the trick of this is I want y'all to take, if you're a good argumenter, if you're good at debate, you should be able to argue either side and research either side and do that. So I would suggest that you challenge yourself more with this speech because that's how you're going to develop your skills. I want you to, if you're naturally inclined to be for something, I want you to try being against it for this one, and vice versa, because again, that's what people, people are giving debates over competitions or contests, they don't get to choose their side. They're assigned their side, and they adjust their speech for it. And usually, sometimes that can help you start seeing things a lot more clearer, start seeing other sides, and help build empathy. So I wish a few more people would have gone, but unfortunately, it's okay though. I do know sometimes it can be a little difficult, but I hope that this weekly hangout has helped y'all understand the assignment a little better. Now we do only have, after this week, 2 weeks for everything left to get the midterm, the final, and this major debate. May 13th is the last day I will accept any work. So that's what I want to really stress. May 13th, the Friday, the finals. So if you want to pass the class, be sure you get something in by May 13th. Now, one final consideration. Cecilia just asked if we're having a final exam. It'll be on Blackboard. It should open next week. So yeah, the Blackboard should be the final exam should be accessible next week. Yeah. One final thing: if you can't find a partner for this debate, then what I've let people do in the past is they basically present. They do little mini debates, but where they're both arguing them against each other. They're doing both sides, the affirmative and the negative. It can be a little bit much in terms of work and research, but if you can't find a partner, there's options. So yeah, I'd prefer you to do this this debate with someone so you can be truly arguing with them. But if things don't work out, let me know. We can work things out. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I'll keep the Hangout open till 7 because just in case people need to show up or want to ask questions or whatever. But I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up now. This video should help people understand what they have to do. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching if you weren't here live but intend to. I appreciate what y'all have done, and hopefully these debates will be pretty eye-opening. I hope that some of y'all will convince me to change my ways, because that would just be great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic. Cecilia, I don't have anything else to say, but if you have any other questions, I'll answer them as clearly as I can. And yeah, I'll go ahead and mute the microphone now, and hopefully y'all have a nice day, evening, whatever.